Sorry to do this to you guys, but I'm stood outside a rural school in India, and I'm here because we're working on a project in which we're trying to understand the complexity of barriers to learning for children. Um, there are so many things that impact on learning, our cognition, our emotions, and the more we understand, the increasingly complex it's becoming. So, how do we, as assessors, start to dig through that complexity and begin to build an understanding of the areas of cognition that are actually impacting somebody at a given point and over a longer period of time? The current sort of approach is to use psychometrics. And whilst there's nothing fundamentally wrong with the concept of psychometrics, they do tend to measure across a relatively small number of factors. That is because we have tended to live in a categorical model of specific learning difficulties. As we recognize that specific learning difficulties overlap, um, we start to question whether we should be looking in categories or whether we should be actually looking at dimension specific areas of strengths and challenges, because that allows us to fine tune the interventions, and that the purpose of diagnosis is to fine tune interventions. The issue we have is that with increasing complexity, it's obviously harder to sort of build an effective picture, a useful picture. And this is where we can start thinking about how artificial intelligence, or more precisely machine learning, can help us to understand in more detail and deal with more variables as we go. In the session that I want to do with Pathos, I don't expect to be in India, hopefully, but I might be. But what I want to look at is how the use of big data sets and our understanding of complexity, our understanding of complex systems might in the future, based on where current research is going, lead to different models of assessment as a kind of future proofing for us and to start thinking about it. A guide to the vocabulary that you increasingly might start to see coming through in research that will allow you to build an understanding of what we're looking at. And then I also want to look at how increasingly tools like CoPilot, ChatGPT are impacting both education, but have the potential to work for us in making assessment more efficient in terms of the process of administering assessment, writing assessments up, particularly the writing up if you're like me. So that's what we're going to cover. And fundamentally, the idea is trying to unpick the way that psychology is being discussed in journals now, cognitive psychological research, and how that might influence assessment in the future. I really look forward to seeing you, and enjoy the winter.